What up, everybody? It's your boy Flock, and this time I have my top 5 must-have builds for the power forward position. And when I do these videos, once again, I must state that this is garnered towards the Pro-Am, which is, like I said, the only mode worth playing because Playground is garbage, y'all. I'm gonna try to run through these fairly quickly. Y'all got the stuff up here in front of you, so let's get into it. All right, the first one at the well, it really don't matter. I don't do these in any particular order. So the first one I got up here is driving and finishing primary, defending as the secondary. As you can see, this is actually a popular build out there, man. A lot of people use this build. I know someone that uses this one. It's actually pretty good. I know a lot of people use it at the center position, but people use it at the power forward position as well. Your dunks and stuff like that is going to be good. Your lateral quickness, your speed is going to be quicker than pretty much any other power forward build. And your strength isn't really sacrificed that bad either. Like, you have pretty decent strength, so you're not going to get pushed around. You see, you have a Hall of Fame Lob City finisher. You got Hall of Fame posterizer. You got the gold pick and roller, putback king, and relentless finisher. So that's a pretty good build right there. The next one, we'll go over to the 3 and D build, where you have 3-point shooting as your primary, defending as your secondary. Now, this one here, you're not going to be very good at layups and dunks and stuff like that. You're not. But in this instant, you really don't have to be, because if you have a guy like that's already a good post position player as the center, you're pretty much just using this as a spacing tool. So you're just using this as a spacing tool. You see, your 3-point is going to be pretty good. Your mid range is going to be, pretty good. Your ball handling, you should be handling the ball anyway and stuff like that. Your rebounding is kind of like man or whatever. Everything else is kind of like middle of the road. You have gold catch and shoot, corner specialist, pick and popper, and deep range deadeye. The only knock on this one is the fact that the limitless range is only silver. If that would have been gold, I think a lot more people would be more intrigued into using this build. All right, next one we have is the rebounding primary, post scoring secondary. Now, this one I recommend you only pretty much use if you have a stretch 5, because you don't want to have too big clutter in the lane, because spacing is everything. Spacing is key in this game. It's key in basketball these days, period, because so many people like to shoot the 3. So yeah, so when you look at it, as you can see, your layups and dunks is going to be pretty good, middle of the road. Mid range is going to be meh. You don't need to shoot 3s and stuff like that anyway, but your post offense is going to be really good. Your rebound is going to be all the way up there, with the exception of 2 spots. Your strength is going to be very high. So, and then you can use this to run off ball screens with all your shooters that you're surrounded with, because you see you have Hall of Fame bruiser, brick wall, putback king for those missed long shots. And teams that like to play zone, you can pretty much kill them and make them pay. Then you have gold, hustle, rebound, and break starter for your key badges. Definitely a good build, I recommend. But if you don't know how to post up, don't make that build. This one here is the pure stretch 4. This is a build that I've been tempted to use because I see certain people try and use them. Some people can do really well with them, and others just can't do that good at all. It's never like middle of the road. So this is one of those I may try and challenge myself builds to try and do, but I don't know, man. I got enough builds as it is, and it's too hard to keep up with all of them. This one here, you're basically a one-trick pony, kind of like the pure sharpshooter at any position. You're not going to be really that good at anything other than shooting. Your mid-range is going to be pretty good. Your 3-point is going to be great, of course. When you look at the strength, you're a little lacking right there. So when I look at it, you got the Hall of Fame catch and shoot, corner specialist, pick and popper, which can be very useful if you know how to do it. If you playing with like a point forward or something like that in a 5-out setting, you can definitely do some dirt with this one here. And then you got the deep range deadeye, and what I alluded to earlier, the gold limitless range. This is definitely a difference maker, because your spacing is definitely going to help, and then you catch it in that sweet spot, you could definitely make some shots. So this is the difference between the 3 and D build and the pure stretch 4 build. So this is definitely one, if you're real big on spacing the floor, you definitely want to check this one out. I highly recommend you try that one out if you just want to go out there and shoot and you got high IQ players on your team. This next one here, we have the driving and finishing and shot creating. I know this is not that popular of a build, but it is highly effective in the right hands. Why, you ask? This is why. Look at what your layups and dunks are. See that, right? Look at what your mid-range is at, right? Okay, your three-pointer isn't great, but on occasion you can make one. So this is one of those. This is like the slashing shot creating or the shot creating slasher build for a guard or a small forward, where you have to keep the defense honest, especially if you run a 5-out setting, because they have to pay attention to you. And you can use yourself as a decoy, as a screener, come in, set those screens and take off and dunk on people. You see the badges that you have, you're definitely quicker. You're definitely going to be quicker too. See what your speed is. You got Hall of Fame relentless finisher, pick and roller, Lob City finisher. You have gold posterizer and putback king. So you're making them pay for, playing zone on those long rebounds if you're down there. This one here, this is an honorable mention. This is the ultimate troll build. This is what I call the Dennis Rodman build right here, where use rebounding as your primary, defending as your secondary. As you can see, you're no threat at all on offense, only maybe with the exception of like playing screen and roll. You play pick and roll and you may get a couple because of your bruiser badge. And you see where your rebounding is, see where your defender is. This right here is a nightmare for stretch fours because you're going to be all in their face if you know how to play defense all game. And they're not going to really be able to do anything, because I know a couple of those gold badges, if I'm not mistaken, may be some defensive badges. So you got to have Hall of Fame bruiser, putback king, brick wall, and then you have hustle rebounder and break starter at the gold. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to make this build and tell you to make them 6'8" or nothing like that, like Dennis Rodman, but you can get away with probably making them 6'8" if you know how to play this game well. You can probably get away with it and be even a little bit quicker with your speed and stuff and your lateral quickness. Just saying. But in a sense where you have that shooter and you surround around a team full of shooters, this is probably the build that you can get away with playing around with and being a troll, man, at the same time, getting on people's nerves. So, all right, y'all. So hopefully if any of these builds, like I said before, ultimately the build of choice is the build that you like and the build you feel the most comfortable with playing. This is just me just stating what I've experienced and the stuff that I see. Hopefully this stuff helped you if you're interested in creating a new build at the power forward position. Hopefully some of these are the ones you may consider checking out. I'm Flock and I'm out, y'all. Peace.